Legend of Hiram. This is the very last part. Here we go. It's entitled Masonic Aspirations, the Robe of Blue and Gold. Hidden in the depths of the unknown, three silent beings weave the endless thread of human fate. They are called the Sisters and are known in mythology as the Norms or Fates, who incessantly twist between their fingers a tiny cord which one day is to be woven into a living garment, the coronation robe of the priest king. Among the mystics and philosophers of the world, this garment is known under many names. To some, it is the simple yellow robe of Buddhahood. By the ancient Jews, was symbolized as the robe of the high priest, the garment of glory unto God. To the Masonic brethren, it is the robe of blue and gold, the star of Bethlehem, the wedding garment of the Spirit. Three fates weave the threads of this living garment, and man himself is the creator of his fates. The triple thread of thought, action, and desire binds him when he enters into the sacred place or seek admittance into the tiled lodge. But later, the same cord is woven into a splendid garment, the purified folds of which shroud the sacred spark of his being. We all like to be well dressed, and robes of velvet and ermine seem to us symbols of rank and glory, but to many ermine capes have covered empty hearts. To many crowns have rested on the brows of tyrants. These symbols are earthly things, and in the world of matter are often misplaced. The true coronation robe, the garment molded after the pattern of heavenly things, the robe of glory of the Master Mason, is not of earth, for it tells of spiritual growth, of deeper understanding, and his consecrated life. The garments of the high priest of the tabernacle were but symbols of his own body, which purified and transfigured, glorified the life within. The little silver bells that tinkle with never-ending music from the fringe of his vestments told with their silver note of a life harmonious, while the breastplate which rested amid the folds of the ephod reflected the gleams of heavenly truth from its many-sided gem. There is one garment without a seam, which we are told was often worn by the Masonic brothers in the days of the Essenes, when the monastery of the lowly Nazarenes rose in gloomy grandeur from the steep sides of Mount Tabor, to be reflected in the silent waters of the Dead Sea. This one-piece garment, woven without a seam, is the spiral thread of human life, which then, purified by right motive and right living, becomes a tiny line of golden light, eternally weaving the purified garment of regenerated bodies. Like the white of the lambskin apron, it stands for the simple, the pure, and the harmless. These are the requirements of the Master Mason, who must give up forever the pomp and vanity of this world, and seek to weave with his own soul that simple one-piece robe which marks the Master consecrated and consummated. With the eyes of the mind, we can still see the lowly Nazarene in his spotless robe of white, a garment no king could buy. The robe is woven by the daily actions of our lives, each expression weaving into the endless pattern a thread black or white according to our action and the motives which prompted them. As the Master Mason labors in accordance with his vows, he slowly weaves this spotless robe out of the transmuted efforts of his energies. It is this white robe which must be worn under the vestments of state, and its simple spotless surface sanctifies him for the robes of glory, which can be worn only over the stainless, seamless garment of purified life. With this moment and the candidate has completed this task, when he comes purified and regenerated to seek wisdom at the altar of wisdom, he is truly baptized in the fire, and its flame blazes upon or up within himself. With him pour forth streams of light, and a great aura of multicolored fire surrounds him with its radiance. The sacred flame of the gods has found its resting place in him, and through him renews its covenant with man. He is then truly a Freemason, a child of light. You know, they always talk about like, oh, you're a child of light or a being of light, exactly how it describes us in the teachings of Thoth. This wonderful garment, of which all earthly robes are but symbols, is built of the highest qualities of human nature, the noblest of ideas and the greatest of aspirations. Its coming is made possible only through the purification of body and unselfish service to others in the name of the Creator. Even Thoth mentions the Creator of all in his teachings. I'm not sure if that's referring to like just this all connected consciousness, or if he's referring to like another being that actually created this matrix. When the Mason has built all these powers into himself, there radiates from him a wonderful body of living fire, like that which surrounds the Master, Jesus, at the moment of transfiguration. This is the robe of glory, this is the garment of blue and gold, which, shining forth as a 5-pointed star of light, heralds the birth of the Christ within. Man is then indeed a son of God, pouring out from the depths, or from the depthless fountains of his own being, the light rays which are the life of man. The spiritual ray striking hearts that have long been cold, raising them from the dead. It is the living light which illuminates those still buried in the darkness of materiality. It is the power which raises by the grip of the lion's paw. It is the great light which seeks forever the spark of itself within all living things, and finding the solitary gleams, it reawakens dead ideals and smothered aspirations with the power of the Master's eternal word. Then the Master Mason becomes indeed the sun in Leo, and reaching downward into the darkness of crystallization, raises the murdered builder from the dead by the grip of the Master Mason. As the sun awakens the seedlings in the ground, so this Son of Man, glowing with the light divine, pours out from his own purified being the mystic spears of redeeming light which awaken the seeds of hope and truth and nobler living in others. Discouragement and suffering too often bring down the temple and bury beneath its debris the true reason for being and the higher motives of life. This same robe, enfolding all things, warms them and preserves them with its light and life, as the glorious robe of the sun, the symbol of all life, bathes and warms creation with its glow. Man is God in the making, and on the potter's wheel he is being molded, as in the mystic myths of Egypt. When his light shines out to lift and preserve all things, he accepts the triple crown of godhood and joins that throng of master masons who, in their garments of glory, the robes of blue and gold, are seeking to illuminate the darkness of night with the triple light of the Masonic Lodge. Ceaselessly, the norms spin the thread of human fate. Age in and age out upon the loom of destiny are woven the living garments of God. Some are rich and glorious colors and wondrous fabrics, while others are broken and frayed before they leave the loom. All, however, are woven by those three sisters, thought, action, and desire, which in the hands of the ignorant builds walls of mud and bricks and slime between them, and truth, while in the hands of the pure of heart, these radiant threads are woven into raiments celestial and garments divine. Do what we will, we cannot stop those nimble fingers which twist the threads, but we may take the thread and use it as we will. We should give these three eternal weavers only the noble and the true, then the work of their hands will be perfect. The thread they twist may be red with the blood of others. It may be dark with the uncertainties of life. But if we will to be and are true, we may restore its whiteness and weave from it a seamless garment of perfect light. This is man's acceptable gift upon the altar of the Most High, his supreme sacrifice to the Creator. And that is all. I mean, down here there's just a list of some other books that were published by Manly P. Hall, and it actually shows the prices of them on here. Remember, this is like around 100 years old, this book that we just read, and it's got this list of other books, and it's got the prices listed for like $2 or 50 cents. There's a bunch of them in here. I'll read just a few of the titles. The Hermetic Marriage, 50 cents. Unseen Forces, 50 cents. Occult Anatomy, 50 cents. Sacred Magic of the Kabbalah, 50 cents. Shadow Forms, $2. And then it says Hall Publishing Company, 301 Trinity Auditorium, Los Angeles, California. And then there's one last little paragraph after that. It says, an encyclopedic outline of Masonic, Hermetic, Kabbalistic, and Rosicrucian symbolical philosophy by Manly P. Hall. This is one last little paragraph I'm going to read. In the 250 pages of this monumental work is contained a veritable summary of the whole libraries of books whose titles and authors are almost unknown to the world. The inner sanctuaries of both pagan and Christian learning are made to reveal again the ancient wisdom so jealously guarded for uncounted centuries by both priest and philosopher. Upon its pages are set forth in language simple and direct the great laws of life upon which the ancient Egyptians and Greeks raised their unparalleled culture systems. Between the covers of a single volume have been gathered those priceless secrets of an ancient learning, all of them susceptible of direct application to 20th century problems. Gathered from the most recondite sources, the wisdom of all ages is now made available to all. And then it says, detailed information will be furnished upon request by the Hall Publishing Company, Los Angeles, California. And that is all. And in this last little paragraph, where it talks about how this all this knowledge has been guarded for uncounted centuries by both priest and philosopher. And I could not agree any more. As you see, all the religious institutions, they've like weaponized this knowledge, which is, in a nutshell, I mean, this says that we are the creators of our own reality. We live in a vibrational universe. We are consciousness that we incarnate into bodies, and we're all co-creating and co-rendering our reality, and we are the ones that have the power, and we are the ones in control, not the governments, not the priests, not the religious institutions. And that's what they don't want you to know. They want you to keep paying your 10% a month, or 10% every week when you go to Sunday church. And they want you to be afraid that if you don't listen to them and obey their commandments, you're going to go to hell. Isn't that funny? They always preach, oh, money is the root of all evil. But what does the churches ask for every weekend? More money. They always want to get more money. It's all a scam. All religion, every religion on this planet, it's all a scam. This is like the real knowledge that we are the gods. We are the creators of our reality. We are the creators of this universe. But everyone's all confused on this planet anyways. We are a collective consciousness that's experiencing life subjectively through the 5 sensory organs of these human avatar bodies, but in reality we are one and we all are connected, co-creating in a vibrational matrix.